Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage in the most Nicolas Cage movie to ever star Nicolas Cage. It's his most meta film I've seen from him, but also his most bland film in recent years. And we are talking about recent years here, where if you compare it to Pig, Willy's Wonderland, Prisoners of the Ghostland, Color Out of Space, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Mandy, I've only seen 3 of the films I've mentioned above, but all of them seem much more creative and stand out than this film. It's not a diss against the film, but I believe there's much crazier Nicolas Cage movies out there. There will be spoilers.
Bravo! Fucking bravo! Oh God, this is excellent.
Don't get me wrong. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is a good film, but it does feel gimmicky. Gimmicky? It feels gimmicky, but in a good way. I was sold on Cage playing Cage. Everything else ends up as a bonus. A fun, entertaining film that for me was nice and relaxing, even without the kidnapping subplot. And even with the kidnapping subplot, now that I think about it. Which is, now that I mention it, is really only thrown in there for the more action-orientated film references. And most of it ends up being face-off. Also, now that I think about it, the whole kidnapping subplot just sort of ends, and we get no resolution in relation to the CIA characters by the end of the film. I guess they're dead. Oh well. Only Nick Cage matters, I guess. And Pedro Pascal. Nick and Pedro work so well together. I could have watched them create a movie script on vacation in Spain for an entire film. That's like, to me, that was the money's worth out of this film. It's just seeing them together, hanging out, even though Pedro's playing a fake character in a sense, like he's not playing a real person. And Nick is playing himself, even though with that, the film, that's like the best part of the film, is them together, working together. I am serious. Them hanging out together is not only the best parts of the film, but the reason to see this film. Unfortunately, the meta part of the film where they are like, we need something exciting like a kidnapping to hook people to go see this movie, because it's like, oh, no one's seeing these type of really good, really creative, talking type films, dramas or whatever, or comedies. No one's seeing those. Everybody wants to see Marvel and action. And so, funny thing is, in this movie, what sold me on this movie is Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage. So it's like, that is your hook. That is your gimmick. Why do you think you need something else when in reality you're missing what's in front of you the entire time? So it's just, I found that part of the meta of the plot was very, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of weird. If this movie was centered around a fictional actor, I would not have paid to see this movie in theaters, except maybe to see Pascal, and also depending on who they would have cast to play that fictional actor. But Pascal, he was the second selling point of the film for me. Granted, I would have probably picked up this movie anyways on Blu-ray, but anyways, in the terms of Cage references, I kind of wish a lot of them was better incorporated. Like, a majority of the time, it's showing clips from his films or just name dropping his filmography. And it's like, I kind of wish there was a bit more to the references per se. Though the times where they actually put a little more effort into the references, those were golden moments. And also moments where they sort of created their own original moments. Those were also pretty golden as well. Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal work so well together on screen that during some of the chase scenes, I actually thought they would have made a much better but weirder alternate universe variant of Nathan Drake and Sully than what we did end up getting with the movie. Granted, I still haven't seen the movie, but I'm kind of interested in seeing it cast-wise because I never really expected those two to be Nathan Drake and Sully, but I'll see it when I do. And if I haven't talked enough about Pedro Pascal in this review, at this rate, this man is going to win an Oscar in the next 10 years if he keeps putting in great performances like this. Specifically that one scene with the cereal box on the table. You probably know exactly what scene I'm talking about because that scene, I'm like, you sold me, Pedro. Get your Oscar, please. I learned way after watching this film that Nicolas Cage's family in this film is fictitious. That absolutely 100% fooled me because I actually thought in the meta of the story, they actually got the actual ex and daughter to be in it. But then it turns out Nicolas Cage doesn't have a teenage daughter right now. That's interesting. I do feel, for me not knowing that going into the film, I do feel a little bit betrayed by the film. But then I forgot this should be viewed as a Hollywood film. So, and to be honest, supporting cast and everybody did kind of a great job with what they were given with this film. But let's face it, the real stars of the show is Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. I want to know what your favorite Nicolas Cage movie of all time. My favorite Nicolas Cage film in a leading role is definitely Face Off, but that's kind of a big cliche after watching this film. But in a supporting role, and probably my favorite movie with Nicolas Cage is Kick-Ass. But then again, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I gotta definitely reevaluate my favorite list. If you want to subscribe, when I hit 500 videos, I'm going to be doing a top 500 favorite movie list, and it will be a lot more updated because there was a bunch of films I forgot to do when I did my top 25/100 favorite movie list video. So I hope to correct some of the errors with that one, and it's going to be even more updated. There are some shocking changes, there are some shocking add-ons, and I figured I should tease that here. Sorry. I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters, Randy Bain, wherever I'm putting your name on screen somewhere. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video. This was the first new movie I saw in 2022. Yes, it took me until April to actually finally go to the movie theaters to watch a movie. And it's not because of the pandemic. I've just been so busy with work recently. I want you to have a nice day or night or whatever time you watch this. Have a nice whatever. I hate doing more teasers because the amount of teasers I've done and end up either not going through with it or getting delayed. I apologize, but this wasn't the only movie I saw in theaters that day. I will be reviewing Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that is going to be a big review.